And Khrysis come from?
I was a kid. I was like 17, 18 years old. I was doing radio shows after school at North Carolina Central State. North Carolina Central University,
Mm-hmm.
the AudioNet station. And this comedian named Talent came in. I don't know if y'all familiar with it. It's just cold. So I had to do an interview with him, and I was just trying to like come up with a stage name. And I was just like, I was real hyper and erratic when I was a kid. So, so he's like, yeah, you should go with Khrysis. Just try to flip away, try to play with the word and bounce it around. And I just wrote down different ways to spell Khrysis, and Khrysis stuck out to my head, so I just kept it.
So describe your hustle up to this point with being with Ninth Wonder and what, that journey to get to this point.
Wow, it's been a long one. Like I said, I met Ninth back in 2000. And it was just all through I was making beats, and Sean Dawn introduced us back in like 90. Yeah, right when I graduated high school is when Sean Dawn introduced us. And then when I went to Winston-Salem State, and I want to say probably like the second half, the second semester, I was going to the cafe to get something to eat, and I saw him walking by. I was like, P, right? He's like, yeah. You still making beats? Yeah, I'm still making beats. Let's go hear some beats. So we just went to the room, and we just kept in touch ever since then. I got into a little trouble while I was out there. Ended up having to move back home. My parents had turned on Duke radio station, 88.9. Heard this really dope record. And then I hear him talking, which actually, ironically, ended up being a Sean Boog record, which me and him ended up being a group, as the away team. After I got voted into the Justice League. This is like '01 now, and I heard him talking after the joint, so I called him up. I called up the radio station like, "Yo, it's Khrysis, man. I just heard you on the radio. It was good." He's like, "Yeah, come to the studio." So he had Fonte pick me up. Who was actually staying around the corner from me at the time. And we went to Raleigh, into Miss Ian's studio, which was Comanche's house at the time. And they were recording the interlude Home for the listening at that moment, at that night. So it was just, I had to take my little brother with me and everything. Like, yeah, for real. It's like, you can't go without your little brother. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was young, I was that young. I was like 18, 19. So, but yeah, like from there, after that was the whole Justice League thing, and and then, of course, everybody knows how that ended up. And, I want to say after the time me and Knife, we got up, we had a talk, and he asked me to join Jamla. So here I am.
So what is Khrysis' signature on a beat? Like, a Ninth Wonder beat, a Justice League beat, a For Real beat and a Timbaland beat. How do we know that this is a Khrysis beat?
Probably mostly in the texture of the beat. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably hear something different. It'll be, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to put my personality into the music as much as possible if I'm allowed. You'll hear the way the break hits. It's the bounce. It's mostly in the bounce. Because a lot of times, I'm always using different sounds, and I'm always trying to find something different that, because Knife is gonna hit you one way, Eric G is gonna hit you one way. You know what I mean? Cash is gonna hit you one way, Amp is gonna hit you one way. Me, Knots is gonna hit you one way, High Tech is gonna hit you one way. So like I'm trying to, whatever they're not doing, I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And, because I'm just trying to really add variety. Because like I said, I'm expanding genres beyond hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I was working on this R&B record that I'm working on. I don't know if I could tell y'all about that yet. I want to do like a rock album at some point. You know what I'm saying? I use a lot of jazz. It's different. It's different. Like you kind of really got to pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what is your opinion on the state of music as it is right now?
I think it's in an awesome place. And if anybody who opposes, they're not listening. They're not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? If you're still looking if you're still looking for new music on the radio and TV, you're stuck in the 90s. You're stuck in the 90s. Not musically, but technologically, you're stuck in the 90s because it's not, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, real hip hop was never really in the forefront. It never was. You only got it 2 hours a day on Rap City, and you might have got it on a mix show at night on the weekends. And that's if you were at home. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and if you were young, if you were my age, that's if you were allowed to stay up that late at night. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it was always been hard to find. It's just a little bit harder because now there's no TV, there's no video shows on TV. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too many people that sit there and have their TV on Revolt or, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or what is it? I think it's called BET Jams now. It used to be MTV Jams, but I don't know anybody who watches that all day. You know what I'm saying? Anybody cutting on the TV, they looking for something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the radio, they have, you know, they've been bought out. The radio's been pretty much been bought out by corporations. And they have to play those records because they're trying to get people to listen to those commercials. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everything's on the internet now. And, you know, if you're not looking in the right places, of course you're not going to find it. But it's enough of us on the internet that can network with each other that, you know, and there's enough music to go around right now for us to be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you kind of can't get mad if you're not willing to look or find something new. You know, you can't get mad about that if you're not willing to seek what you're looking for. So with me, I'm satisfied. I love where music is at right now. You know what I mean? Because not only do we have, you know, we have a nice balance of artists to choose from. You know, if you want, you know what I'm saying, if you want your trap, you know, there's somewhere you can go. If you want, I guess what's called real hip hop, there's somewhere you can go for that. If you want your good R&B, there's somewhere to go for that. And there's a lot of stuff that's kind of blending into, there are certain multi-genres of stuff that are blending into each other. Like, you know, like cats like Anderson, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he does it all, you know what I mean? So, you know, with people like that around, and then, you know, people like us around, how you know, I don't understand how anybody can get upset about the state of music. They just don't want to hear nothing new. You know what I mean? They want the same old thing over and over again. So I don't think it's really the state of music. I think it's the state of fanship that might be messed up.
Why is real hip hop in quotations?
Because what is real hip hop? Okay, because what is real hip hop? What is it? Why do I put real quotations in hip hop? Because, okay, to somebody in the West Coast, if you ask somebody from the Bay, E40 is real hip hop to them. But you can't take that to New York and sit here. You can't go to New York and tell them E40 is real hip hop. They'll look at you and laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not what they grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you know what I'm saying? Same thing in Texas where UGK is real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But then you got New York where Gangstar is real hip hop. But it has all these different forms. It's real. It's all. You go to Atlanta, Outkast is real hip hop. It has many different forms. So that's why I put real hip hop in quotations, because people will sit there and say real hip hop, and then they'll name real hip hop acts. But then somebody else over there, you can't name a real hip hop act to you without disagreeing with somebody else. That's why I think it's all objective.